All right, you beautiful bastards. Let's cut the crap and dive right into this goddamn housing market.
It's a proper shit show.
Everyone's either bitching nonstop about how impossible it is to buy,
Yeah.
or whining about how their house is now worth less than a used condom.
Right.
So we did a deep dive into all the latest reports and articles, trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on.
Yeah.
Is the UK housing market really as fucked as everyone says?
It's a bloody roller coaster, mate, that's for sure. People are shitting bricks trying to get on the property ladder.
Right.
Or they're pissed off because their house value's tanked harder than a drunk teenager at a frat party.
Oh, so?
But,
Yeah.
Nationwide's latest report might give us a little clue about what the hell is going on.
So Nationwide's saying house prices have shot up by like 3.2% this September compared to last year.
Yeah.
That's the biggest jump we've seen in almost 2 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Hold your tits, cowboy.
I mean...
While 3.2% might sound like a goddamn miracle, it's not exactly time to break out the champagne just yet.
Oh, really?
It's mainly driven by terraced houses.
Oh.
They saw a 3.5% bump.
Okay, so just terraced houses.
Detached houses, on the other hand,
Yeah.
only crawled up by a measly 1.7%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Right.
the overall market's still pretty sluggish compared to,
Oh,
the glory days.
so why are terraced houses suddenly hotter than a stripper on payday?
Which-
What is going on?
It could be a hangover from that pandemic race for space.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when everyone and their grandma wanted a house?
Oh, yeah.
With a home office and a garden?
And a hot tub.
And, like, enough bedrooms to host a goddamn orgy?
Yeah.
Now that things are back to,
Yeah.
sort of back to normal?
Yeah.
Those smaller,
Right.
more affordable.
Yeah.
Terraced houses are looking pretty damn sexy.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the only reason?
Oh,
or is there
yeah.
more to it?
Nationwide's chief economist,
Yep.
Robert Gardner,
Yeah.
thinks it's a combination of factors. Rising incomes,
No.
mortgage rate cuts,
Right.
and the possibility of the Bank of England lowering interest rates
Okay.
are all giving buyers a little bit of breathing room.
So people might actually be able to afford a house
Yeah.
without having to sell the kidney?
Without having to sell their kidneys on the black market.
I
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah.
Is it really that rosy? I mean, come on.
You're not the only skeptic out there.
Yeah?
Amy Reynolds, who's like a
Yeah.
big shot at an estate agency,
Yeah.
says overpriced houses are rotting on the market,
Yeah.
like a forgotten Tupperware container in the back of the fridge.
Yeah.
While realistically priced ones are getting snapped up
Right.
faster than a free beer at a college party.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
So
Makes sense.
even with some positive signs,
Yep.
sellers can't be delusional asshats about their asking prices.
Greed never goes out of style, does it?
No, it does not.
So let's talk about mortgages.
Yeah.
Is it actually getting any easier to snag one of those bad boys?
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
Lenders are acting like horny teenagers at prom.
Okay.
They're fighting over every new buyer who walks through the door.
Okay.
They're offering way better deals to first-time buyers.
Oh, really?
Than those poor bastards trying to remortgage.
So they're screwing over the people who are already in the system.
Pretty much.
Classic.
Yeah. But check out Nationwide's latest offer.
Okay.
Borrowers can get a mortgage up to 6 times their income
Wow.
with only a 5% deposit.
Really?
Sounds like a dream, right?
Yeah.
But the catch is
Oh, here we go.
they have to lock in for 5 or 10 years.
So it's like golden handcuffs.
Exactly.
Low rates now.
Yeah.
But who knows what the hell will happen in 5 years?
It's a gamble for sure.
Right.
There are definitely risks.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
lower interest rates could stimulate demand
Right.
and get the market moving again. The Bank of England's data shows that mortgage approvals are at a 2-year high.
Oh, wow.
Similar to the levels we saw right before Liz Truss's chaotic mini-budget.
Speaking of politicians,
Oh, God.
those fuckers always seem to mess things up.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line here?
So,
Are house prices actually going up?
yeah.
Or is this just a temporary blip
Ooh,
before the whole thing crashes and burns?
prices are up, but it's not a full-blown boom.
Oh,
It's more like a gentle nudge in the right direction.
okay.
Affordability is still a major fucking issue,
Yeah,
especially for first-time buyers
right.
who are probably living in their mom's basement and surviving on ramen noodles.
So basically, we're all still screwed.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There are some glimmers of hope out there, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
The situation's still pretty fucked up.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
So we've got this mini surge fueled by terraced houses.
Yeah.
Maybe some slightly better mortgage options.
Right.
But what about all the other shit that's going on?
Right. We've only just scratched the surface here. There's a whole lot more to unpack. So,
All right, you heard the expert, folks.
yeah,
We're just getting started.
we are.
Grab another beer, settle in, and get ready for part 2 of this deep dive
Yep.
into the wild, wild world of UK house prices.
Stay tuned. So remember all those articles about people fleeing the cities during the pandemic?
Oh, yeah.
Like rats abandoning a sinking ship?
Yeah, all those wankers who sold their shoebox-sized flats in London
Yeah.
and bought, like, fucking mansions in the countryside.
Right.
Did that exodus actually, like, screw up the market, or was it all just media hype?
It definitely shook things up, mate.
Yeah.
The stories about city folk buying up properties in the sticks
Yeah.
really drove up prices in those rural areas,
Yeah.
like a cocaine-fueled bidding war at an art auction.
Right.
But now that the pandemic's over, things seem to be calming the fuck down.
Really?
At least for now.
So is the race for space officially over?
What?
Back to the soul-crushing grind, everyone.
Not so fast.
Really?
Some experts think that working from home is here to stay, which means people might still prioritize having some goddamn space,
Right?
even if it means living further away from the office.
Okay.
So those rural areas
Yeah.
might not turn into ghost towns just yet.
Interesting. So maybe those countryside mansions won't be filled with tumbleweeds and spiders after all.
Maybe not.
Okay, so let's talk about something that's been grinding my gears.
What's that?
Property developers.
Ah,
Are those greedy bastards still building those soulless, overpriced apartments?
oh, you bet your arse they are.
Really?
They're like vultures circling a dying animal just waiting to pick the bones clean.
Jesus.
They know there's a housing shortage.
Right.
So they're building these tiny-ass boxes in the sky and charging an arm and a leg for them.
It's just pure greed, isn't it?
You're not wrong.
I mean, they don't give a rat's ass about building affordable housing.
No?
They just want to, like, line their pockets with cash and swim in a pool of champagne.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But let's not forget about the government's role in this clusterfuck.
Oh, God, yeah.
They could be doing a hell of a lot more to incentivize the development of affordable housing.
Yeah.
But they're too busy arguing about Brexit and other bullshit.
It's like they're deliberately trying to fuck over the working class.
Right.
Or maybe they just, like, enjoy watching us squirm while they sip their fancy cocktails in their ivory towers.
Let's not get too political here, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
We're here to talk about house prices,
Yeah.
not government incompetence.
Right.
Although, let's be real,
Yeah.
the two are pretty damn intertwined.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is all starting to feel a bit hopeless.
Oh, come on.
Is there any chance in hell that things will actually get better for buyers?
Oh.
Or are we all destined to be stuck in this soul-crushing cycle
Yeah.
of rising prices and unaffordable mortgages?
That's the million-pound question, isn't it?
I guess so.
The truth is, no one has a bloody crystal ball. But there are a few things that could potentially make things less shitty.
Like what?
For example, if the government actually pulled their fingers out of their arses
Oh,
and started building more affordable housing,
yeah.
that would be a good start.
Right.
And if interest rates stay low,
Yeah.
that could make mortgages a bit less terrifying for first-time buyers.
Okay, so there's like a tiny sliver of hope.
There's always hope.
Yeah. But I'm still feeling pretty pessimistic.
I get it, mate. It's hard to stay optimistic when you're constantly bombarded with news
Yeah.
about skyrocketing house prices and mortgages that require you to sell your firstborn child.
Right.
But hey, at least we're all in this shit show together.
Misery loves company, right?
That's the spirit.
Okay. So seriously, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to navigate this goddamn housing market without having a complete mental breakdown?
First of all, don't panic. It's
Oh.
easy to get caught up in the frenzy and make impulsive decisions that
Okay.
you'll regret later. So take a deep breath, do your research,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to tell those pushy estate agents to fuck off
Yeah.
if they try to pressure you into something you're not comfortable with.
Solid advice.
Thanks.
But what about all the sharks out there who are trying to take advantage of desperate buyers?
Yeah.
How do you avoid getting scammed
Right?
and ending up with a house that's like riddled with asbestos
Ah,
and haunted by the ghosts of previous owners?
that's where a good real estate agent comes in.
Oh.
Find someone you trust
Right.
who knows the market like the back of their hand.
Oh.
They can help you negotiate a fair price, avoid shady deals,
Right.
and wade through all the legal bullshit.
Okay, so find a trustworthy agent,
Yeah,
do your research, and don't panic.
exactly.
Got it. But what about those insane bidding wars we keep hearing about?
Ah, yes.
Are those still a thing, or is that just some urban legend?
Oh, they're real.
Really?
Bidding wars are still alive and well-made.
Fuck.
Especially in areas where everyone and their dog wants to live.
It's like a bloodbath out there with buyers throwing money around.
Jesus.
Like confetti in the hopes of snagging their dream property.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
It can be.
How the hell can anyone compete in that kind of market?
Well,
Without having a trust fund or winning the lottery?
it's tough, no doubt.
Yeah.
You need deep pockets and nerves of steel.
Right.
But sometimes it comes down to timing and luck.
Okay.
You might stumble across a property that hasn't attracted a lot of attention,
Right.
and you'll be able to snag it for a decent price.
So basically it's a lottery.
Pretty much. But hey, sometimes you gotta take a gamble and see what happens.
All right, so we've talked about the crazy price increases,
Yeah.
the pandemic's impact on the market,
Right.
those greedy property developers,
Those bastards.
and the political bullshit that's fueling this whole mess.
It's a mess out there.
Let's get real for a second.
Okay.
Is buying or selling a house actually as stressful as everyone says it is?
Oh, mate, it's definitely up there on the stress scale. You've got to deal with mountains of paperwork, endless viewings,
Oh, go
with nosy neighbors peering through the windows,
I hate that.
pushy estate agents who wouldn't know honesty if it slapped them in the face,
Okay.
and the constant fear that the whole deal might collapse at the last minute.
Ugh, that sounds like a nightmare.
It can be.
No wonder people are popping Xanax like candy to deal with the housing market.
Yeah, but it's not all doom and gloomy. There's also a sense of excitement and accomplishment that comes with buying or selling a property. It's a major life milestone, and it can be a really rewarding experience.
Right.
Especially if you manage to do it without losing your sanity in the process.
So it's like a roller coaster of emotions.
Exactly.
1 minute you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
The next you're spiraling down into a pit of despair.
It's a wild ride, but hopefully it's a ride that ends with you getting the keys to your dream home.
Right.
And popping open a bottle of something bubbly to celebrate.
Speaking of dream homes,
Yeah.
let's talk about something a bit more fun for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the craziest things you've seen people do to try and sell their houses?
Oh, mate, I've seen it all.
I bet you have.
I've seen people baking cookies and leaving them out for viewers,
Really?
staging elaborate dinner parties with fake families,
What?
and even hiring professional photographers to make their houses look like they belong in a goddamn magazine.
Wow, that's some next level dedication.
It is.
But does that shit actually work?
You know, sometimes it does.
Really?
People are suckers for a good story.
Yeah.
And if you can create a warm and inviting atmosphere,
Yeah.
it can definitely help sell your house.
Wow.
It's all about making those potential buyers feel like they can already picture themselves living there,
Right.
even if it's all a carefully constructed illusion.
So it's all about creating the right vibe.
Exactly.
Like turning your house into a goddamn Disney movie set.
Pretty much you want those buyers to walk in
Right.
and feel like they're stepping into a dream, even if that dream is about to turn into a financial nightmare.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the other side of the coin?
What do you mean?
What are some of the biggest turnoffs for buyers?
Oh, there are plenty of those.
I bet.
Clutter, dirt, bad smells,
Right.
weird decor, and neighbors who look like they belong in a horror movie
Right.
are all major red flags.
Yeah.
You want your house to be inviting, not repellent.
I could definitely see how those things would be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But what about more subtle things? Like, is there anything that sellers do unintentionally
Yeah,
that completely sabotages their chances of selling?
absolutely.
Like maybe they have a weird obsession with taxidermied squirrels or something?
One of the biggest mistakes sellers make is overpricing their property.
Oh, yeah.
They think they're going to outsmart the market and get away with it,
Right.
but it usually backfires spectacularly.
Yeah, I bet.
Buyers aren't stupid, and they can spot an overpriced property a mile away.
So it's all about being realistic about your asking price.
Yeah, like not letting your delusions of grandeur
Exactly.
get in the way of a good deal.
You need to do your research,
Right?
figure out what similar properties in your area are selling for,
Yeah.
and set a price that's actually in line with the market.
Right.
Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment and turn you into a greedy bastard.
That's good advice.
Thanks.
But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Selling a house can be a pretty emotional experience.
It can.
I mean, it's not like selling a goddamn toaster.
No, it's not.
How do you separate your feelings from the business side of things
Right.
and not end up crying in a corner while you sign the paperwork?
That's a tough one, mate.
Yeah.
it's hard not to get attached to your home.
Right.
Especially if you've lived there for a while and accumulated a bunch of memories.
Yeah.
Both good and bad.
Yeah.
But you got to remember that at the end of the day, it's just bricks and mortar.
Right.
Your goal is to get rid of it for the best possible price.
Yeah.
And move on with your life.
So you're saying you got to be ruthless. Not necessarily ruthless.
Okay.
But definitely practical.
Okay.
Don't let sentimentality get in the way of making a smart business decision.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about the current state of the market.
Yeah.
The challenges that both buyers and sellers are facing.
Right.
And some of the crazy shit that goes down in the world of real estate.
It's a mad world out there.
But let's address the elephant in the room, shall we?
Come on, mate. I'm all ears.
This whole system seems completely fucked up.
Wow.
It's like a rigged game where the odds are stacked against the average person.
I couldn't agree more. The housing market is a mess.
Yeah.
It's unfair, unpredictable, and driven by greed and speculation.
Yeah.
It's enough to make you want to give up and live in a van down by the river.
So what the hell can we do about it?
Right.
Is there any way to fix this broken system? Or are we all just screwed?
That's the million-pound question, isn't it?
I guess so.
I don't have all the answers. But I think it starts with demanding better from those wankers in government.
Yeah.
We need policies that prioritize affordable housing,
Right.
protect renters' rights, and crack down on those predatory lending practices that are screwing people over left and right.
Yeah. That sounds like a good start.
Yeah.
But what about us?
What about us?
The average Joes and Janes who are just trying to survive in this crazy world.
Yeah.
What can we do to navigate this market and maybe even make a difference?
Well, for starters, we can educate ourselves. The more we know about how the housing market works,
Right.
the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions and avoid getting ripped off.
Right.
And we can support organizations that are fighting for housing justice and trying to make things fairer for everyone.
Okay, so educate ourselves, support good causes,
Yeah.
and tell those politicians to get their shit together.
Exactly.
Got it. But I still feel like we're missing something here.
What do you mean, mate?
I don't know, it just feels like it's got to be a better way. This whole system of buying and selling houses feels so archaic and inefficient.
I hear you.
Like we're stuck in the dark ages or something.
There's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to rethink the whole concept of home ownership and come up with a system that's actually designed to meet the needs of the people.
Right.
Rather than just lining the pockets of those greedy bastards at the top.
Yeah, maybe we do. But that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
For now, let's just focus on surviving this shit show.
Right.
And hopefully coming out the other side with our sanity intact.
Agreed. Let's wrap things up here for now.
Oh.
We've covered a lot of ground, and I think we all need a stiff drink after that.
All right, folks. That's it for part 2 of our deep dive into the wonderful world of UK house prices.
Right.
We hope you learned something,
Yeah.
even if it just confirmed your deepest fears about the state of the market.
And remember, even though things might seem bleak, there's always hope. Just keep fighting the good fight, and maybe one day we'll have a housing market that works for everyone.
Yeah.
Not just the rich and privileged.
Stay informed, you beautiful bastards. And don't forget to share your thoughts with us on social media.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
We want to hear your rants, your hopes, your dreams, your everything.
Until next time, stay safe and stay sane.
Right.
And try not to let this housing market drive you completely bonkers.
We'll be back soon with the final part of this deep dive.
We will.
So grab another beer, get comfy, and prepare to dive even deeper into the madness. All right, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into this goddamn housing market shit show.
We're in the end game now.
So we've talked about the big picture stuff.
Right.
And now let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Okay, let's do it.
What about those sneaky little details that can really fuck people over?
Right. We got to talk about those estate agents and sellers.
Oh, yeah.
Who are slicker than a greased piglet.
Yeah, those bastards.
They're out there playing mind games with buyers, trying to squeeze every last penny out of them.
So what kind of shady tactics are we talking about? Give us the dirt.
Think about those recently reduced properties you see plastered all over the internet.
Oh, yeah.
They're like a siren song for bargain hunters.
Right.
But often it's just a bullshit tactic
Wait.
to create a sense of urgency and get those bids rolling in.
So they jack up the price initially.
Yeah.
And then drop it a bit to make it seem like a steal.
Exactly.
Those sneaky bastards.
And then you've got those property descriptions.
Oh, God, yeah.
That are so vague they could mean anything.
Right.
Cozy often means the place is smaller than a prison cell.
Right.
up-and-coming area usually means it's a shithole that might be gentrified in a decade.
Right.
If you're lucky.
It's like they're speaking in some secret code designed to lure unsuspecting buyers into a trap.
Pretty much. And let's not forget about those staged viewings.
Oh, God, yeah.
They'll crank up the heating, bake fresh bread, and blast some chill music to create a fake-ass sense of homeliness.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It is, mate.
I bet they hire professional cleaners and hide all the crap in the closets, too.
Oh, you know it. They're masters of illusion.
Right.
Making those houses look like something straight out of a goddamn fairy tale.
Right. But hey, at least they're putting in some effort.
True.
Some sellers are so lazy they don't even bother to mow the lawn.
Right.
Or fix that leaky faucet.
Yeah, it's like they're actively trying to sabotage their own sale.
Maybe they're just trying to filter out the picky buyers.
Yeah.
The ones who are going to nitpick every little detail.
Could be, but seriously.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling how some people expect to sell a house in that condition.
Right.
Have they never heard of pride of ownership?
Apparently not. But hey, at least it creates opportunities for those who aren't afraid of a little DIY.
Right.
You can often snag a bargain if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
And fix up the place yourself.
Right on, mate. Sometimes those diamonds in the rough are the best investments.
So what's your top tip for spotting a hidden gem in this chaotic market? How do we separate the wheat from the chaff and avoid those overpriced dumps?
Look for the properties that haven't been staged to within an inch of their lives.
Okay.
The ones that are a bit rough around the edges, but have good bones.
Right.
Those are the ones with potential.
Okay.
The ones you can really make your own.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who are just starting out on this goddamn property ladder? What advice would you give to a first-time buyer who's feeling completely overwhelmed and terrified of making a huge mistake?
First of all, take a deep breath.
Okay.
And try not to freak out.
Easier said than done.
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah.
But you can navigate it without losing your mind.
Right.
Start by getting your finances in order. Figure out how much you can realistically afford to borrow. And don't let those banks pressure you into taking on more debt than you can handle.
So do your homework and don't be an idiot.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
Your estate agent is supposed to be working for you.
Okay.
So grill them about everything.
Right.
And remember, it's okay to walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Don't let anyone pressure you into something you're not comfortable with.
Words of wisdom, my friend. Words of wisdom. Well, folks, that about wraps up our deep dive into the UK housing market.
It's been a journey.
It's been a wild ride full of twists and turns and enough bullshit to fertilize a small farm.
We've covered a lot of ground, mate.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've learned a thing or two about how this crazy market works.
Right.
And how to avoid getting completely screwed over.
We've talked about the state of the market.
Yeah.
The challenges facing both buyers and sellers.
Right.
The sneaky tactics used by those bastards in the industry.
Those wankers.
And the fact that this whole system seems to be designed to benefit the rich and powerful, while screwing over everyone else.
It's a rigged game.
But remember, even though it might seem hopeless at times,
Yeah.
there's always a way to fight back.
You got this.
Do your research, be smart. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right, yeah.
And never let those greedy bastards get away with their bullshit.
Damn right. Stay informed, you beautiful bastards.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Cheers to that. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane.
Yeah.
And try not to let this housing market drive you completely mental.
Yeah. Peace out, everyone. We'll catch you on the flip side.